Hello everybody, it's Stewart A. Swerdlow for expansions.com, and this is the third week in February 2012. Some of the things you need to know about the world this week is that right here in Syria we have Iranian warships that went around through the Red Sea into the Suez Canal and up through the Eastern Mediterranean and have docked in Syria. I wrote about this on my news reports on my website expansions.com. And of course, if you were an Israeli government official and you knew that there were Iranian warships just a little bit up the coast from you, that would be an alarming situation. You also have to realize that many of these warships are fitted with missile silos, which would be capable of shooting anywhere into the European continent and even into other parts of Asia. And so the EU should also be quite upset by this occurrence. And we need to also realize that here is Iran sending warships to other parts of the world, and they're even off the coast of the United States. Iran is creating itself to be the new version of a Persian empire from thousands of years ago, and it's seeking to be a rival to the United States, Russia, China, and any other global civilization that's ever existed. So this is something to keep in mind. They've also, of course, made contacts and alliances in South and Central America, as well as parts of Africa and in Europe. So keep your eyes on the Eastern Mediterranean right now. Something is bound to happen there shortly. We also have interesting situation where CEOs and presidents of major banks, both private and of national international size, have been retiring and quitting their positions suddenly. And this is both in Europe, Central America, Asia, Africa. Why are all these bank presidents and CEOs quitting suddenly? What do they know is coming that no longer requires their services? Could there be the final collapse of the global economic system and the introduction of a new global currency? This remains to be seen, but certainly we need to keep our eyes on the financial system in the next week or two. Also, as far as geological things are concerned, there was a 4.0 quake in southeast Missouri just yesterday, and that is, of course, directly on the New Madrid fault line. And these quakes have been increasing in intensity in southeast Missouri, as well as in western Tennessee, northeastern Arkansas, and even going into Kentucky. And if you remember a few weeks ago, I told you about the earthquake just northwest of Chicago. Yes, the New Madrid fault line is popping, as well as those tributary fault lines that go all around it in many different directions. And you know, geologists have not mapped all of the possible fault lines and fractures in the earth in the central United States, and sometimes they don't know they exist until they actually start to move. One other thing that I wanted to explain to you as far as changes in the earth, we also have, I wanted to mention just recently today, moderate to severe earthquakes in the Bering Strait between Alaska and Siberia. But in reference to Siberia, Russian scientists have recreated a 30,000-year-old flower that they found, the seeds of which were in a frozen little pocket in the earth that squirrels had created thousands of years ago, and lined with fur and leaves. And this actually protected the seeds. And of course, it was in an area that was filled with permafrost, and still is frozen despite global warming theories. And they have found a lot of DNA and artifacts from that glacial time period that they are starting to recreate. And they mentioned, as they always do, that Japanese scientists are scouring that particular region of Siberia, which is in the northeastern part of Siberia, to find remnants of mammoths, so that they can clone the mammoths. But of course, we already know that's been done a long time ago. They're telling you all these things now because they are trying to recreate the life cycles from that pre-glacial time period. And because that is when They had their civilization on the Earth when Lemuria existed and the reptilians were in power, and they want to recreate that as desperately as possible. So we're seeing all of this occur. You must also keep in mind that the weather situation that we are experiencing now is being artificially suppressed, changed. Expect in spring 2012, especially in North America, to have a particularly severe tornado season and possibly a very powerful hurricane season, but one which may be short-lived because of the creation of El Nino in the South Pacific, which will change the flows of air and temperatures to both Asia, Australia, and North America. However, if the volcanoes do erupt in Indonesia, and as they are erupting in Alaska and parts of Central and South America, as well as eastern Siberia, that could create such a heavy layer of ash and dust in the atmosphere that the Earth will just go into an ice age within a year or two. And in fact, it's been known that when such volcanoes erupt, even as little as 2 of them simultaneously, but ones that are powerful, that within weeks the weather can change to become much more cold and severe. So keep that in mind as we are starting to exit the winter season in the Northern Hemisphere and enter the spring season, when the clash of cold and warm air creates violent reactions in the atmosphere, hurricanes, tornadoes, etc. So that's all I have for you today. Please remember to support us here at expansions.com so that we can be supportive of you. Go online, join our membership. There are many different levels. There's something for everybody. Become part of what you need to do to change the world. Change yourself, change the world. Join the Expansions website online, expansions.com. Remember to attend our April seminar here in St. Joseph, Michigan, which will be absolutely incredible healing techniques and information that we have not revealed before. So until next time, this is Stewart A. Swerdlow for expansions.com.